Hello everyone, I'm Shadow, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit special. About a week ago, a group of developers from Ember Lab, the developer for Kena Bridge of Spirits, did a reaction to my 2556 Toshi's Relics run. That video's up on IGN's channel, so make sure to go check it out if you haven't seen it already, and then come back to watch this video and see what this is all about. So I watched that reaction video back for the first time live on my stream, and I wanted to do a kind of speedrunner response video with an edited version of some of the highlights from that, and also I wanted to give some additional context and information about some of the major skips that we do in the run that I wasn't able to cover on that stream. Now before we start, I'm gonna shill a little bit. If you're not already, feel free to sub to this YouTube channel if you enjoy Kena speedrunning or the variety of other games that I speedrun. I also stream live on Twitch, so make sure to give that stream a follow if you're interested there. I'll have a link to that in the description as well. Also, if you're interested in Kena speedrunning, or you just enjoy the game, you should definitely consider checking out the Kena speedrunning Discord, which I'll also have linked down below in the description. The community for the game has been really amazing, and we've seen so much development in the last little over a month that we've had the game, and it's been great to get to experience it all in there. I'd also like to shout out some other Kena speedrunners before we get started. First off is InsertLogic. You can find him on Twitch at InsertLogicT, or on YouTube as InsertLogic, and I'll have both of those links down in the description. Logic's been an amazing friend of mine for a few years now, and we've competed in some other games in the past, like KH3. He's an absolute beast of a speedrunner, and he also just got the Toshi's Relics category for Kena into AGDQ 2022. The schedule for that event isn't out yet, so I don't have the exact date and time that run's going to be happening, but make sure to check out the event so that you can tune in when his run does happen. There's also going to be an incentive to make that run be done on the Expert Spirit Guide difficulty, so make sure that you donate towards that incentive if you do want to see it happen. I'd also like to give some shoutouts to rinrintelephon and Clara the Classy. Rinrin's been an amazing runner of the any percent category for Kena, and he's done a ton of routing and optimizing for a variety of categories of the game, like Toshi's Relics, All Ra, and a few others. Clara, on the other hand, has been running a lot of fun meme categories recently, like Frog Percent, where you have to get the frog hat as fast as possible, or Spooky Percent, where you get all of the Halloween hats that were added in the newest patch as fast as possible. They're both great runners and positive forces in the Kena speedrunning community, so I'd recommend checking them both out. Links to their Twitches will be down in the description. There are a lot of other great Kena runners who you can also find in the speedrunning Discord that I mentioned earlier, but I wanted to give these three people in particular an extra special shout out because I've interacted with them the most and they've all been really awesome. Now, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Is rolling really that much faster than sprinting?
I asked somebody and they said that like over the course of the entire run.
Yeah, so rolling is not much faster, but it saves fractions of seconds throughout the run if the rolls are timed properly. But doesn't really do much. Have I checked the strats channel? No, I have not. Ooh? Wait, oh god. Okay, well, we can watch this now too, because this is apparently new. This is right at the beginning. Oh my god! What? That's crazy! So you like clip and trigger the auto save point. That's wild. Found by Z Money Train. Free 15 plus seconds time save in the intro for every category. Oh my god. You don't even have to jump, just roll into the wall and it should hit it. Oh my god. That's crazy.
I'm sure they found all the bugs for save.
Where is he going? James, where is he going?
I've seen this before. I'm surprised this works. Does none of this have collision movement?
It's got collision. We kind of briefly poked at this just to see what's up, and it's appearing like there's valid floor. So when she rolls, it's like, I still have floor, and magically just warps her into the air, so. Oh, whoa!
Okay.
That was pretty cool.
I did not know you could do that.
Damn, I'm surprised we didn't catch that.
That was really cool.
That didn't look that hard. I don't know.
It looked like there's some sort of like momentum preserved in that. I'll have to maybe.
Hey, wait, what happened? Did they roll off the edge?
Something like that. Yeah, there's something preserved. That was really neat.
So the waterfall thing didn't look didn't look hard. I'm glad it doesn't. I'm glad it looks easy because I've choked that so many times that it hurts. All right, that's a good way to end tonight. But the pulse sprint carries your momentum with a short hop, right? When you short hop out of the sprint there, it still keeps the momentum of the sprint. And you also get the extra, like, coyote time, where you have that extra time to jump when you're off the ledge, which is really nice. It's very interesting to hear what they said about dodge rolls as well. The fact that the game just thinks Kana has valid floor the whole time there, and so it just carries her. That's really interesting. Also, for the intro, I have a clip pulled up. Because I know Z-Money Train posted this in the Discord yesterday, I think. I saw this last night before I went to sleep. And so it's an alternate route path where you go over to the left side, and then you do RA here on the chest. So then you like do these in reverse order, and then come up to that one that we would normally hit, pulse it, and then open the chest, and then also collect that rot. And then the cutscenes overlapped. I don't know if that is faster. I don't know by how much it is faster, if it's faster, and then you just do the rest like normal. It looks like the amount of time it takes to set up RA is about the same time as the cutscene playing out, but I guess you also don't have the chest opening animation, because that's playing at the same time as the pulse for the other rot.
Maybe it was a coyote jump, right? Because we have that, like, we have n number of frames
there they
after
go.
you walk up a ledge where you can jump again, and maybe that's just giving you enough squeeze.
Yep, that is a coyote jump with a short hop, and if you do a full hop, then it kills the momentum.
So it just kind of switches the axis in a way.
Oh, no. So bad.
Oh, dude. Okay, so but that's a huge time advantage because he's skipping all the tutorials that are unskippable.
All that combat.
Yeah. I was wondering about the tutorials because that would be a big time set.
Yeah.
Watch, even if you mash X through them, it still takes your time down. Like you just like bypassed 2 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on that tutorial point as well, and I know Logic, you brought this up on stream too. The way that we do the out of bounds there now, as opposed to doing the damage boost to skip the fight like we did beforehand, it skips the tutorials completely, so we don't get them on Sprout either. Like normally at the end of Sprout, with the damage boost the other way, we'd get the tutorials for the Raw at the end of the fight. And because we just like never go into that fight, the game never triggers them, which is really cool. It does save a good amount of time.
Oh. Wait.
I've been seeing people do that, and I'm not sure.
So you can bypass the trigger by backflipping?
They skipped the title card.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I bet it actually just clicked. Like why they did that? That's so funny.
So good.
Oh my gosh.
That state's not whitelist.
No, well, it's all the dodge state, right? So there's something about the backflip that.
Well, if you dodge, it triggers, right? I mean,
Yeah, so on that dodge state thing as well, we also have I can pull this up. Rinrin posted the day after I did this run, and like right after Logic got his Toshi world record. But you can achieve the same thing here with pulse rolling, where you instead of doing backflips, you roll pulse, and you can buffer the pulses as you're rolling. And as long as the game never catches you in a walking or running state, then it will never trigger the cutscene, right? So when you're entering the pulse state out of roll, you never enter walk or run. And that same thing gets achieved with the backflips, the consecutive backflips. Oh, interesting. You can't buffer it in 1.10. Very interesting. How's it going, Ronan? I hope you're doing well.
And I just realized that there's a whole title card thing, you know.
Ooh, okay. Intentionally did soft reset? What's the deal with that? Oh, because it's getting given his point close to the match run. He's gonna load in close to the match run. Oh.
Oh, that bypasses the warp.
Yeah.
That you get when the sequence plays. That's really clever.
So he's like, because that would warp you back by the shrine, warp shrine.
yeah.
And he's saying, okay, I want to be close to the match run to move this along.
So that seems like really tight timing to get that to line up. Like
That's pretty quick.
that's pretty impressive.
I'll pause here as well so we can talk about that. That was Logic's idea. I was in Logic's chat. Logic was throwing out ideas of both hitting the autosave there. And then also falling into the water and taking a death. And you can load the autosave as like that cutscene is playing, but it won't end the fight properly. It'll load you in at that autosave point, but it'll still have like the wall up and everything. But the death works, and it brings you a little bit closer, which is nice. You do have to do 3 dodge rolls backwards in order to get in range of the village center waypoint, so that we can warp to it later. But the range on that warp shrine is huge for it to activate, so we don't actually have to get anywhere like near as close as we do with the other warps, which is really nice. It ends up cutting out like 1 dodge roll in terms of movement, which isn't much, but it does help.
Here we go.
Now we have early dash.
So he's behind. Okay. Those spirit barriers we put up are useless now.
Yeah, so I know what patch he's on.
It's just 105, yeah.
105. I'm gonna go off on a bit of a tangent here and address some things about the skip that just took place. First off, this trick that was just performed is known as early dash, and as the name implies, this movement allows us to get the dash ability that you normally get from interacting with Toshi's mask for the first time. It's intended that you get to this point after you've finished Taro's and Adira's areas, but this skip allows us to just get it immediately. And the skip was actually initially posted by Kabazco back on release day of the game, and it's one of the most important skips in the run due to the possibilities that having dash earlier on opens up for us. Not only does this give us an insanely powerful movement ability from the very get-go, which is great for a speedrun, but it also allows us to access some of the final bosses way earlier than we're supposed to be able to. So in regards to this skip, the devs just mentioned 2 important things, one being spirit barriers that were put up, and the other being that this run was done on patch 1.05. This skip actually sees some differences based on which patch you're running on, and these can be split up into 3 different groups of the patches. So there's initial patch up through 1.05, which all function the same way, patch 1.06 up through 1.10, which function the same way, and now the most recent patch 1.11 has its own differences from the other 2. So on patch 1.05, we do dodge rolls along this wall, then jump onto the rock that pokes out of the water that would normally kill us, and then we jump up from that rock onto the stairs, and that takes us straight up to Toshi's area. And there's nothing here that really impedes us. The dodge rolls can be a little bit difficult to pick up at the start, but in the end they're really not that bad. Now there's one big problem with this skip that the devs saw, and it's not the fact that we're getting early dash, it's actually this rock that we land on. When you play through this game the intended way, and you finish Taro's area, the water here ends up turning into normal water that you can swim through without dying. Casually, players could swim through this normal water after completing Taro's area, and then climb up onto the rock through the water, jump onto the stairs, and be able to skip through Adira's area and go to Toshi. In order to address this, on patch 1.06, the devs added a spirit barrier that goes along the staircase, and it blocks you from going up this way. So if you're running on patch 1.06 up through 1.10, the way that we do this back on patch 1.05 no longer works. Instead, there are 3 other methods that we have for getting around the spirit barrier, one of which is dodge rolling in a position that gets you up the spirit barrier, which was initially posted by Garjay. There's also an alternate path that you can take around the spirit barrier, which is slightly easier but also slower, that was initially posted by Arims. The third way of getting around this is a dodge roll from the bridge that lets you gain height, which was initially posted by GC Ragnarok and then optimized by Z Money Train. All 3 of these methods still accomplish the same thing. They get us onto the staircase that takes us up to Toshi's area, we're able to interact with the mask and get early dash, but they all end up being slower than patch 1.05. So a good amount of runners who were playing on PC avoided updating the game so that we could still do this faster method of getting early dash back on patch 1.05. Now, with the most recent patch, this rock that was causing that casual problem has actually just completely been removed, and in addition to that, the spirit barrier that was added back in patch 1.06 has also been removed. So on the current patch now, we're able to do this setup that was found by rinrintelephon, which uses a hit to put us back in the grounded state so that we can do an extra set of jumps to make up the distance that that rock was normally able to provide us. This new setup is comparable in speed to patch 1.05, which is great for anybody who wants to pick up the game and run it now. All in all, I wanted to give a rundown of some of the history of what is one of, if not the biggest skips in the run, and also give a shout out to the speedrun community because it's been incredibly impressive how much work people have put into this game so far in terms of finding multiple ways of getting the skip to work, even with the patches that have happened. I also just want to take some time to highlight Ember Lab as a developer for also just being generally awesome. When patch 1.06 dropped and the spirit barrier was added, the speedrunning community was able to reach out to Ember Lab, and we were able to open up a line of communication with them, and they've been generally very open and supportive of the speedrunning community. As a runner of a brand new game, you kind of always live with this sense of fear that one morning you might wake up and the entire run as you know it can be altered due to a huge patch that just shakes the game to its core. So it's been really nice to have a developer like Ember Lab who have shown that they aren't really looking to patch out every speedrunning skip that we're doing, unless those methods that we have are harmful to the casual experience.
This is why Dash is a late game ability usually. Oh, yeah, this is... Wait, so why is he doing this?
Yeah, like
So we also caught a glimpse of this in the intro.
There's that bow trick again.
Because he doesn't have any abilities except for dash right now.
No.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, this is gross.
What? Now, what happens... There it is. There's the soft reset. So we have that timer on that says, like, because you're not touching the ground.
Okay.
So that kicks in and resets you.
So, exploiting photo mode.
That's so
wants
awesome.
you further with dash? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
So we can talk about a few things here. Also, I love that quote. This is why Dash is a late game ability. It's great. It's one of the awesome things about the run too, is it's so cool to get Dash early, especially in the areas where it's not intended for you to have that in these sections until you're like backtracking to go get Rod or Hat or whatever. Getting to go through them for the first time with Dash just opens up so many possibilities, and it makes a lot of other categories viable too, like the fact that we have Toshis and any percent and all relics and all of that stuff. It's very, very cool how we're able to get Dash and immediately get access to those late game areas, and then also just have it as a movement ability throughout the rest of the run. It's very cool. I want to take another quick pause here to talk about the trick that I just did, which is called a Hyperdash, and I have pulled that clip up so that we can go through this slowly and break down everything that's happening here. So first off, we're lining up here, and we're doing this with aiming. Then we enter a state where we pause and open photo mode at the same time, which you can see here. And this puts us in a place where the pause menu is up, but we're still able to move. Once we're in this state, we input a dash here. And it's very important that this is a dash that's going off the ledge because we need to be airborne with the dash momentum in order for this to work. And as we do this dash here, I'm gonna go frame by frame. I've left the ledge now, and here I pull up photo mode and hit the Say Cheese button. And this puts us into a state, as you can see, Kana here just goes into her pose. And that pose, while we're in the air with the dash momentum, is going to carry our dash momentum the rest of the way. Now, there are a few ways that we can get out of this state, one of which is the game will time you out after a certain amount of time and respawn you. In this case, I hit the ground there in a spot where the game respawns me at a position where I want to be. You can also get out of this state by either taking damage or entering water, which will return you to your normal state, or if you load an autosave, that will also return you to your normal state. This is a trick that was initially found by Snuggly Pikachu, and it really broke the game apart, especially for some of the longer categories, where you're able to do more hyperdashes that cover more distance and get you into places that we normally aren't able to access. So I'll actually rewind to this. Here we go. So this was the hyperdash. I messed up this positioning and I just did it and it worked. And it stuck me. And I was surprised that it stuck me. I just didn't want to take time to reset up the hyperdash, and I just was hoping the rock would load in, and it didn't. But Logic has an awesome hyperdash here, which I have queued up. It should be here. If we can watch. Where you hit the rock, and then from there, you're able to hit the corruption instead of voiding out, which is really awesome, and it's faster, and it just looks cool, and it's really nice. So that's something I have to pick up as well.
Yeah, so he's just only doing Toshi's Relics then. Not even bothering with any of the other spirits.
Well, you need Bomb to beat the game. So I think at some point it has to
Go into the storehouse at least.
Yeah.
You need bomb to beat
I
the
guess you don't
game.
have to do all of the world too, though. You can just skip that. Oh.
There's that
That's such a
storehouse.
cool looking trick, man.
So you just go. So it's eventually timed out by the soft reset.
Right. Okay.
You hit a checkpoint?
Yeah.
Oh man.
At least Ken looks gangster. She's just
Just
standing there.
like totally just like getting it. I totally missed the menuing on getting the actual too. I didn't realize that I had.
Did you get the upgrade?
Yeah, I think so. There's rock hammer going on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't even see that.
I didn't even see the menuing on
That was so fast.
that.
Ooh, so I'll pause here. I actually, I've talked about this on stream before. This is something I started doing a little bit ago. But here, this warp, I keep my mouse in this spot. I position it on the title screen at the beginning of the run. And then on the dash back here, I just hit M click space and insta do the warp. Because the mouse is lined up to be in this spot that the village center warp is. I started doing that a few days before I got this run, and it saves like, I don't know, a second, maybe a second and a half on scrolling.
You need the bow to start her because you have to hit all the tree targets.
Oh, okay.
So you do need the bow to get her out.
You need to see some climbing.
I messed up, I did my dash early there and ran my dashes out.
How does he get
This was one of my worst splits in the whole run, and it's mostly just this first section. And then I decided to run my dashes out, which was not the right decision because then I was also bad on these dodge rolls.
It's a little difficult.
I can pull up Logic Spot as well here. And then I just had to run my dashes out again. This is Logic doing that Tara's tree cutscene skip. It does a few things differently that I am hoping to pick up. So the first is this double jump to get into the dodge roll spot. And then he also goes around the side here and does the dash from on top of the rock. His Tara's tree cutscene skip is much cleaner than mine is.
You gonna even trigger it? No, he doesn't need to. He's just gonna blast past
There
it.
should be. No, I guess there's not.
No, there's
should be a
nothing.
wall there.
With a barrier?
Oh, if he doesn't trigger it, there's all.
Yeah.
Oh, is this just loaded in the VFX layer?
Yeah.
So it should have been there.
They were talking about the barrier there. There normally is one that makes us hit that cutscene, right? But the out of bounds that we do there, there's also the old setup that used the tree that Rinrin had posted. And Rinrin also had posted this. I know you and rinrintelephon found that out of bounds for all rot, which skips the barrier that would normally get put up. One of the cool things as well that does is it keeps, if I scroll back to, it keeps the lightning going just the whole time as we're like going up through bow, and that'll just stay the full time too, which is pretty awesome.
He has not done one combat on the way up to World 1.
Yeah, I know the ambient combats.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is the part I'm curious about. Like, how is he gonna get up here fast enough? He's gonna go get the rock. What a nice guy. No. I don't think people are supposed to be up there, James. That may be why we didn't test it.
So we take these routes and we make them look really good.
Yeah.
I definitely was trying to get another friend, yeah.
Hey, here we go.
Wow, that's amazing that they can line that up
Wait, is he dashing on?
somehow. Yeah.
But I still don't know what he's doing there.
Yeah.
Because he's pausing it, going into photo mode.
I have no idea either. And I've had it explained to me and I still don't.
And where is he at now? Is he at...
This is the lift. I believe this is what's colloquially called Kappa skip.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
All right.
This camera does not like that.
Yeah, that sounds still there.
So that skip, that's the big one. That Hyperdash, I think, is one of the most interesting. This was found by Z Money Trade. I thought it was. I just wanted to check and make sure. But yeah, this skip is sick. This skip is very cool. The lineup for it is awesome. The deload into the wall. I struggled with learning this skip a lot at the start, but I understand it way more now, which is nice. It's still like one of those things that I'll always get stressed out about when I get here, just because missing it sucks. It really sucks to either go too far to the left and miss the rock, go too far to the right and not have the wall deload, or just mess up on the pausing and then not have the rock spawn in. It's just such a cool skip when it does go the way it's supposed to. And that lightning from before, that Taro's
They're really like
scene,
maximizing
it's still
that,
going.
that I was watching the meter,
Yeah.
and they're dodging and lining that up just so they can get the dash in. No matter how much time we spend on collision, it's never going to be good enough.
No. Yeah. That's even though that's not right. It's pretty impressive that he's not getting caught in some little crack and crevice and just getting stuck.
The movement on that debris is harder than it looks. It's really hard. There are so many weird spots in this section. Through here, and then also once you get up top here, there are so many weird spots where like there are weird walls or gaps. Like here, there, that dodge roll I do, puts me right up against this thing, right? If I just do the jump that I don't have enough distance to get on top of the rock there. So it's
even though it's not right, it's pretty impressive
lot.
that he's not getting caught in some little crack and crevice. And just
No,
getting
there's
stuck.
been a lot of people who've looked at it too. Especially in this area. I know Aram's, Snap, Logic have all done quite a bit of work. Rinrin as well. A lot of people have looked at this section. I finally this section right here might be my pride and joy of this run, because I finally didn't miss a bow shot. I finally hit everything. It was a miracle.
Yep, there you go.
Wow.
Get her down.
Also, Snap, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah.
Aiming is hard.
You can have it, yeah. Okay. Oh, she got some hit.
Yeah, she got one hit.
That's good. Yeah, I think that might be the end of her reign.
Yeah,
That'll bump it down. Yeah.
So we can talk about this fight a little bit as well. I do this fight somewhat weirdly, I think. Because I know there are different ways you can do it. Here's a good enough spot. Yeah. So here I let Hunter do the attack. I know if you pull bow out early enough, it stops Hunter from like doing its next action. And it'll like fly and shoot or whatever. And then I also have just decided to not parry here anymore. Because I had one fight where I parried, sent Hunter back into the wall, and then did the Rot Hammer, and Hunter like flew up diagonally back right, and then like just started doing shots in the air, and it was very weird, so I just stopped doing it, because without the parry, then she'll always do that. And I think the parry was only saving like a second in the best case for me.
Okay, oh. Toshi. Toshi, do your worst, buddy. Come on.
This Toshi fight went very well.
Come on, Toshi. I should get it.
Yeah, Spring Mode really doesn't attack too much.
So I think that Toshi fight barely missed my golds. Not having Toshi teleport is really nice. This has been one of the ways that I've had it work. And there are two fail spots here, which I'll show as well. That is one of them. Let me scroll back a little here. So there is this here. This double charge, the first charge staggers, the second one doesn't. Toshi moves back here. If you move forward too early, Toshi TPs. because I just assume that it's a distance-based thing. If you're too close, Toshi will TP. And then the other one is this Rot Hammer here. Toshi staggers on. If Toshi doesn't stagger on that Rot Hammer, which can happen sometimes, and I'm not sure what causes that, then Toshi TP's out. But those are the two places that I've had it fail with this pattern. There we get that shield up for the extra dash, which they had talked about before, which was gated by the level 2 Rot.
He doesn't have bombs though, right?
He did not get bomb. I don't think I saw him getting bombs.
Oh, you know, he must do some sort of skip over the bomb platform section.
It looks like he did get that shield upgrade.
Oh.
It does look bigger than earlier.
Yeah.
That's true. Damn, that's awesome.
And I did take a hit there,
There we
too.
go, wouldn't I? Okay.
And
Your son is down.
Yeah.
Dear boy.
Even though it's on story mode, that was an incredible use of abilities.
Yeah, there's a wide gamut of delights.
Yeah, he's like getting arrow shots off during the slow mo.
yeah,
Just lining him up perfectly.
on story mode, a crit is just one arrow.
Yeah.
That's what you say that way. I'm really curious about this bomb platform.
This one here?
Yeah. It's just gonna. Okay, fine.
Oh,
you
that
did
is
it all.
really tight.
That's really. That has to be like inches away from that.
It's
reset.
very tight. So we can talk about bombless here. There are a few setups for it. There's the one that uses the bomb platform, and you jump off that one, and hold back right. And then there's this one, which I believe this was found by Snuggles. I hope I'm not misattributing. I know Clara had posted stuff about it as well, but I know both of them had posted stuff about it. With this setup from that platform, it is very tight to make that jump and not hit the void zone here. You just like narrowly avoid it, which is kind of crazy. It's very it's one of those jumps that if you are off,
really tight.
It's
That's
sucks.
really. That has to be like inches
And it
away
warps
from
you all the
that
way back.
reset plane.
And then I had a bad phase 3 as well. Which in the moment it felt okay. But looking back at it, I definitely approached the end of it a bit weirdly. And especially after seeing Rinrin
actions.
do stuff on Rock Up now, I better understand it.
You got the spear swag, because once the spear gets pulled out, it simulates. And I've seen a couple people like try to poke it.
So I lose 18. I lose 18 on phase 1. It's bad enough that I leave phase 1 as you're in platforming. It's really bad. And then I was slow hitting this spear too. So I rolled instead of dash, and then I missed the send. And then here I messed up with baiting him, because I was trying to do the laserless thing, but I messed it up. And then he gave me a pattern that I hadn't seen before. It was interesting. So I hadn't had him do that attack, where he like throws the ice there.
Yeah, cool.
There he goes. That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in total he had the village leaders, that first combat in the cave. So I think he only did like 7 combats in total,
Yeah.
including Toshi and the Rock Out.
I'm really amazed that you don't need bomb for any of
Yeah,
the
I mean
village leaders or
that
this endgame sequence.
that void room for the Rock God, he was so tight. To
Yeah,
like
right.
you missed that by 1 or 2 seconds. It's done.
Not even that, yeah.
Yeah, not even in a second. Yeah.
And that's it. That's the video. or at least it would have been if there weren't some major discoveries made literally as I was doing the finishing touches on this editing. So I'm going to show off a clip that I recorded on stream with the help and guidance of Rinrin that makes use of two major discoveries, one being a Hyperdash spot found by Azama, and the other being a new trick that was found by Snuggly Pikachu, which we're calling photo mode intercepting, that takes advantage of the photo mode camera's hitbox in order to redirect Kena while she's in the air during a Hyperdash. So this clip is one of the major applications of these tricks for the Toshi's Relics run. There is another major application that takes place for the any% run, and another one for Toshi's Relics that gets us to Hunter faster, but I'm just gonna show off this one here. The others are all in the Discord for Kena speedrunning, so if you're interested, make sure to join the Discord and check those out. Also, if you've already made it this far into the video, please like it, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, do all that fun YouTube stuff everybody always talks about. It really does help out. But for now, let's leave off on this new tech. So I'm going to be doing some commentary over this in post. This is the Hyperdash spot that was found by Azama. It's right at Warrior. We have to do this before the Warrior fight so that we have this corruption. And this Hyperdash allows us to be gaining height. I spoke earlier about Hyperdashes timing you out after you're in the air for long enough, but this doesn't actually take place if you have a large enough change in your vertical speed. This is something that was found independently by both myself and Rinrin in the past, where we were able to gain height, but it never lined up enough to be useful. Azama found this, and it actually does line up perfectly where you can land on the rock, but with that new tech found by Snuggly Pikachu, we can also just alter Kena's position in the air like this, to bounce ourselves downward. This hits the warp shrine up at Rusu's lookout, which we're then able to load to spawn Rusu in and talk to him. This gets us Bow in a little over a minute, which saves about 3 minutes on Toshi's. It's pretty huge. And this is only one application of this tech being applied. I'm sure there's going to be many others to be found as well. So again, if you're interested, please join the Kena speedrunning Discord. Keep an eye on this. The game's going to get really, really crazy from here on out.